Hey everybody, here it is Monday, June 26th at almost 8:30 p.m. and we have a line of severe thunderstorms moving in. I'm actually riding this one out at my place of work. You're probably wondering, Nick, why are you at work? Well, it's because these storms that are being forecasted with the possibility of golf ball sized hail. And y'all probably know that I don't have a carport or any place to store my vehicle that's protected from hail. So it is parked inside this parking garage right now. That way, if it does come a hailstorm, it'll be protected. So I can't guarantee that I will have storm cam footage up in Huntersville of this storm because it's getting kind of late in the evening and my cameras are already approaching 10 hours as it is. I started them about 10:20 or so this morning. I came into work a little later because I was anticipating being here a little later too. So we're already at 10 hours on those things, and they can make it to 11 hours. So it's kind of a wait and see kind of deal. So this is what's going on right now. So you can see on the radar, got these big storms coming in, and I'm actually, my home location is roughly around here. And I am a little concerned if this is, of course, a supercell thunderstorm. I mean, there is a slight possibility that we could have tornadoes out of this. But the big threat is hail and wind. So you can see here, I have a camera rolling. It's been rolling for about 2 hours or so. Kind of amazed it's still going. Knock on wood, it makes it through the storm. So yeah, I'm looking at this thing and it is just ugly. Lightning everywhere. So my current location is right about here, and that is uptown Charlotte right there. So we are kind of looking to the northwest. So let's just say there's some ugly looking stuff up toward Huntersville where I live. So I'm gonna go upstairs and let's get a better look. Okay guys, I'm up a floor on the 5th floor of this building. So we got an amazing view here, and just look at this freaking thing. It is massive. One thing I'm a little nervous about though, guys and girls, is if this thing does drop golf ball size hail up in Huntersville where I live, will the skylights on my house survive it? Yeah, that's one thing I'm a little concerned about, is of course those skylights. Now they are, to my understanding, hail resistant, and they do have a 10-year replacement on hail, but that's when you're the purchaser and I'm not the purchaser. The skylights came with my home, so if they bust, I'm going to have to replace it or file an insurance claim. Yeah, guys, this thing is just mean looking. Kid you not. See, I just stopped to take a nice panorama shot of this thing. Boy, that is an ugly looking storm. Now, of course, we're not too far from sunset. So I could say the color of the sky is probably enhancing the view a little bit. Freaking amazing view. Okay, so it's 8:43 p.m. and it's currently storming at home. This is my personal weather station. You can see we're getting 2.5 inch per hour rain rates. I've already picked up close to a ½ inch of rain. I tell you what, guys, I hope at least 1 or 2 of those storm cams are still going. Hopefully storm cam 1 is still going, because that's the one that's facing the right direction, as well as the indoor camera. It's also facing northward. So yeah, crazy stuff. Winds don't look too bad right now. Refresh this, see if we've had any big gusts. So we're up to 2.65 inches an hour, so it's doing its little thing here. Give it a sec. There we are. 2.65 inches an hour, so it's moving in. Again, winds are not super bad by any means. You can see things really just went for a nosedive when this thing moved in, and we had, or at least my weather station picked up a 20-mile-an-hour gust, which is, I'd say, typical. 2.72 inches an hour. Now the question is there hail in that too? Obviously this ain't gonna tell me, but it might stop working. We'll say that, because this weather station, it's a ambient weather WS2902, and it's not the most durable weather station. It does have moving parts on it, like of course the rain gauge has moving parts, as well as the anemometer. So yeah, the storm is currently in progress. Yeah, look at that view. So we are seeing right now the go back to this other radar map. So what we're seeing, and of course weather.com likes to pull up its garbage estimated radar. What we're seeing is this nice bulge right there. You can see it's really took a nosedive right there. So there's 4 alerts up in Huntersville. Severe thunderstorm warning, probably, let me guess, under the watch. I was going to say maybe a flood warning, because we've had so much rain lately, but no, I don't see a flood warning. It's just severe thunderstorm warning. I'll tell you what, we've had a fair share of rain this month. So we're still getting up to near 3 inches an hour. I mean, just for example, this month, we have picked up over 6 inches of rain. We'll probably be close to 7 inches or more by the time this is over with. Get a look out here again. It is dark. Big time dark. Back up toward Huntersville where I live. One thing I must say is I have got a freaking amazing view down here in Charlotte. I just hope that at least one or two of my storm cams are still going. However, we are getting up toward the 10.5 hour point. So my mom and dad, of course, they live around the corner from me up there in Huntersville, and at exit 23 off I-77, there were reports of hail, but my mom said she didn't see any at their house, so it looks like we might have just barely dodged the bullet. Tell you what, guys, if it weren't for the hail, I'd be home right now. If it wasn't for the chance of the hail, I'd be home right now. But when they were talking about the possibility of golf ball sized hail, and in fact I just had the windshield replaced on my Jeep last month, I don't want to risk it. I just hope my skylights are okay. This is crazy. It's hard to say. Is this thing heading toward here? It did make kind of a turn to the south a little bit. Yeah. So again, we are, at least I am located right here. So it did kind of take a turn to the south. I do want to wait for this thing to get through here before I go. My mom texted me, she just said she thinks I made the right call in staying down here. I'll tell you what, guys, looking at this cloud, I would agree with that. This thing looks ugly. I'm telling you guys, this thing just looks really ugly. Okay, the sun is setting. It's getting dark quick. I'm definitely afraid by this point my storm cans have probably left the chat. They've probably shut off by now. But maybe at the least we would have caught part of it. Okay guys, it is 9:14 p.m. And you can see the lightning from this thing is just insane. Unfortunately, I'm highly certain by this point that my storm cams have died by now. My mom just texted me. She said the lightning was picking up there and they just lost power. It's putting on quite a show, I'll say that, but I'm really wanting to go home. So, man, the lightning is just unreal. Okay guys, so this is the outage map of our electric provider, Energy United. And you can see there are outages all over the place. The big red dots indicate large outages. The smaller dots represent smaller numbers. The smaller dots are probably consumers calling in about their outages. And the larger dots are just outages that were automatically logged because, of course, Energy United has a smart metering network. And when outages occur, it's automatically recorded. So lots of outages in Mecklenburg, Lincoln, Mecklenburg and Lincoln County. Yeah, this is crazy. If it weren't for the risk of the hail, I would have actually went home for this, and y'all would have had footage of this whole thing. Because I do believe I had some extra batteries charged up and ready to go. And finally, it seems like it's actually moving somewhere. So, yeah, our weather station definitely is out. It's updated 8 minutes ago, so it's really 8 minutes has been since the power got knocked out. So these numbers are just frozen time from when it was last going. Okay, boys and girls, I'm home now. Our power is still out, but interesting thing to note is right now Energy United is actually in the process. They're going to restore service. Right now they are opening. Get you better focus here, if it'll focus on that. Right now they're opening some switches on the main three-phase line out there. Either A, there's a fault, like a tree down across the line down this road a little ways, or B, they are sectionalizing the line for a cold load pickup. Because, I mean, sometimes when the line's out for a while, it takes a lot of energy to bring a line back online. But I'm actually more suspecting that there's a fault down that way, because our power comes from, let's see, get you where you can see again. Our power actually comes from that way. So when you zoom in on the switch pole, you can actually see the open switches. You see those switches are open now. So they've isolated everything to the right of the switch pole. So right now we are all still out. I'm going to walk back outside because I was in the process of gathering my storm cameras for Q. Yeah, I think here shortly we'll see some lights somewhere. I mean, they just patrolled the line. That's part of the practice of restoring power after a bad storm like this. Linemen will patrol the line, look at every pole, at least every main part of the line, make sure there's no issues before they try to restore service. Because if they restore service and let's say there's a down power line somewhere, that could be a very dangerous situation. Oh, our power just came back on. I don't know if you can see the lights. Let this car get by. Alright, so you can see we got the lights are coming on now. So what that means is currently right now everybody to the left of that switch pole has service, yet everybody to the right of the switch pole does not have service. Okay, boys and girls, they are getting ready to close these switches back in. So they must have repaired what was wrong with the rest of the line. This is going to pick up, I want to say, at least 400 or so customers when they close this main line back in. Have my flashlight with me just in case they close this in and it's still faulted for some reason. You can see them switches are still hanging open. So I'm going to stand by until they're ready to do their thing. Okay, it looks like they're getting ready to close them back in. It's super hard to see what they're doing. Raising his hot stick. He's going to engage those switches and slam them back in. I'm going to look down at the camera's viewfinder instead of looking directly at that, because there will likely be some, or at least a little bit of a flash when those close in. There was one. Ooh, a little bit of a spark with that one. That was the B phase, or the middle phase. Saw our lights blink a little bit when that one went in. And I'm gonna get this last one. So they have to be very quick with those. So they're done now. They're all closed back in. Yeah, they have to be extremely quick with that. They have to slam them shut. Because if they don't, you could have a poor connection which would heat up. Also, if you don't close back in fast enough, you could have an arc flash. Unfortunately, all three of my cameras here died before this thing got here. I tell you what, in hindsight, I wish I'd have came home earlier. Wish I'd come home and rode it out here, because apparently the hail that we did get was like not even penny sized. So it wouldn't really done any harm. But, I mean, on the flip side, I got some nice footage from Charlotte of this thing. But, I mean, I hate it, though, when I miss out on a good storm like this. Not that I want bad weather, and not that I want power outages, but when we get bad storms that knock out power and do crazy stuff, it's like, those are the ones I really want to upload to the channel. You know, storms like that. Now, I will say, a week ago, we had a pretty nasty storm, but it was lightning. It wasn't hail or anything like that. It was just lightning. But this was a pretty bad one, I heard. Luckily, we got spared the worst of it. But apparently what happened with that power outage, I think either wind might have took down a tree limb, which took out a power pole on this main feeder line that feeds all the subdivisions off this main road out here. But it was either that or maybe a car wreck or something. I don't know for sure. But anyways, it's done deal now. I'll be, of course, you know, I got the footage I got from Charlotte, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get any footage from up here. It's very unfortunate. It is what it is. So, anyways, hope you enjoyed what you got. Thanks for watching.